Hi everyone, it's Ash from FPL Hints, here with some options on how to navigate the doubles and blanks. First and foremost, if you're able to like, share and subscribe, that will be greatly appreciated. I know it's been a long time since my last video. I didn't record much between October and November, then produced a lot in December, took a mini break in Jan with the lack of fixtures, and with this integral time in FPL, with the announcement of confirmed doubles and provisional doubles, confirmed blank and a provisional blank, I thought it best to chip in with my pathway. But before I do so, I'll do a quick check-in with how I did in the last game week, how my team is currently set up for game week 24, as well as my thoughts and options for double game week 25 and beyond, and also looking at the um, blank and double game week schedule as outlined by Ben Crellin as well. That will be a significant reference point for me. I'm also going to put together a potential wildcard team for game week 24 as a way of potentially navigating double game week 25 up until blank 29 potentially. So that's something I intend to do right now as well as a draft, as it were. Whether I act upon it or not remains to be seen, but I just want to share my thoughts. So first and foremost, quick important update actually. I've not looked at my overall rank for about a month now, and I've deliberately chosen to do so purely because it's just one less thing to think about. I've got a rough idea on the direction of travel, but I don't know my specific rank, so I'm going to scroll down very carefully as I look at my points for um, game week 23. So it scored 87 points, well above the average. Game week rank, which I can see obviously, of 610k, which out of 10 million teams, you'd expect that to be a very dark green arrow. Um, in terms of the points, Martinez finally delivered for me. I've had this horrible run of goalkeepers simply not getting me any clean sheets for the most part of this season. And yeah, I've benched a lot of points as well, especially during the Christmas period. So it's nice to get that clean sheet. And also for my sub goalkeeper, Areola, not to get any points. So that was great. Onto the defence. Trippier chipped in with a goal and an assist against Luton Town in a thrilling 4-4 draw. Of course, he conceded 4 goals as well, and that affected his bonus points tally. Pedro Porro, who we expect him to get a double-digit haul every game week, and he always ends up with a meager amount. Bit disappointing in that 4-goal thriller at Goodison Park. And Estupinan, massively disappointing cameo appearance, 1 point. That's not the reason why we bought him, but I've got him, got to deal with him. And then on to the midfield. Nice to see returns across the park. As we can see, 47 points in total. Foden, the star player with a hat-trick on Monday night, which was a massive boost to my tally. And Saka chipped in against Liverpool. Many even benched him actually before that fixture. De Bruyne, of course, it was just one fantasy return in the end. Could have been so much more, but I'll take it with all things considered. And Palmer, who was also a initial captaincy option for me in game week 23, chipped in with a goal. So very happy with how the midfield did. And then onto the attack. Again, blanks from Solanke and Alvarez. It's been a long time since Solanke scored that hat-trick, but of course he's got the double in 28. And Alvarez, who I could have captained, I think the week before I didn't. And then, yeah, I've got him for now. And then Watkins, annoyingly a vice captain in a 5-0 rout against Sheffield United. He only got 1 goal, but he got the 3 assists that elevated his score to 18 points. So very pleased with that. Just literally everything went right except for the captaincy. And if I switched the captaincy the other way around, I would have been well over 100 points. And that's just with the starting 11. Onto the bench. So Areola, please benched him with the 1 point. Gabriel with a -1, and Taylor didn't start. It was really the gross benching that really hurt me. Hadn't really shown any form of late. And had Solanke potentially have had a trickier fixture, and he wasn't at home to Nottingham Forest, I probably would have started Gross over Solanke, but it is what it is. 87 points, comfortable, dark green arrow. I'm not going to scroll any further because I'll see my overall rank. And like I've said, I don't intend to see it for the time being. So, look, fairly content with that. And yeah, on to game week 24. So, in terms of the bus team and how it looks right now, so I've not made any transfers at this moment in time. So, how it's set up with the doubles as things stand: Martinez in goal, Trippier, Porro, Gabriel, and I've got the Man City triple up, of course, already intact, albeit haven't got Haaland. Palmer, Saka, Solanke, and Watkins, and then again, once again, got Gross and Gross on the bench. Stupinan has been demoted, and then Areola is a sub-1 goalkeeper. And I've got 2 free transfers here at the moment, and there are different ways in which I could basically operate here. I could waste the 2 free transfers and wildcard, and I'll show you my wildcard illustration shortly, which is an option. Or I could actually make my transfers with double game week 25 in mind, but not go all out attack. Like I could effectively do 3 transfers and then do another 2 or 3 transfers, and I'll be taking hits essentially. And do I really want to do that? Probably not. So I really want to get Haaland in as well, to be honest with you. Real great captaincy option against Everton in game week 24, and of course the double in 25 as well. So I'd effectively be wasting a transfer anyway by flipping out Alvarez for Haaland if I was to do that. But like, with all that said, there are different ways in which we can navigate this period. And what I'm going to just bring onto the screen here actually is the blank and double game week schedule as outlined by Ben Crellin, who needs no introduction whatsoever. Ben Crellin is the spreadsheet genius of the FPL community. So this will effectively be a reference point for me, whereby he outlines what has been confirmed and what could potentially happen in the weeks ahead. So we know for certain that there's double game week 25. Luton play twice, Liverpool play twice, as do Brentford and Man City. And then straight after that, as a result of the League Cup final, Liverpool and Chelsea are not playing, as well as their respective opponents, which means that Luton and Tottenham won't play alongside Liverpool and Chelsea. But then not long after that, we've got a confirmed double game week 28, 2 fixtures for Luton and Bournemouth. And then here's where we've got like the provisional like caveats depending on how FA Cup ties go. There will be a blank game week 29. Some teams won't play, but it's a question of how many it will be. His projection right now is possibly 10 or 12 teams, so that is a lot. So for some, free hit might be an option. Some might even want to wildcard at that point. And then further down the line, for the doubles and blanks beyond that, he's got a projection here right now of a double and a possible blank in 34, 2 fixtures for up to 5 teams, and even a blank for up to 3 teams, and then double game week 37, which seems to be a very common double throughout the FPL season. There will be 2 fixtures for up to 10 teams potentially. And of course, the downside of a double game week 37 is the fact that there is a lot of rotation that takes place around that time. So from my perspective, I would want to attack the doubles as early as possible when you'd expect there to be as little rotation as possible. So that's where my mindset is at that moment in time. It also depends a lot on your overall rank tier as well. So I don't know what my overall rank is, but I do know that I'm in a chasing position rather than a defending shield position. So there are certain risks that I'll be willing to take, and my threshold to take risks will be considerably more than if someone's ranked in the top 10k, who essentially would want to go with the flow. But just depends on what your personality type is also as an FPL manager and your track record. But what I do know from the stuff I've just like eyeballed on Twitter, you've got a significant amount of content creators who are discouraging the use of a wildcard in 24. And then you've got those on my timeline who've also said that, oh, it's outrageous. How can we not like wildcard in 24? There are benefits there. So what I'm going to do here is just illustrate a viable team if you were to wildcard in 24 that can navigate 25, the blank in 26, and the double in 28. And then you've also you're also in this situation whereby you've got the chips available beyond that as well. But let me just give you the options as I have them. So before I get into my wildcard illustration for 24 to cover you up until 29, I'll just outline 3 options in total. So in the first instance, which is the wildcard in 24 approach, you'll wildcard in 24 in order to get in 12 double game week players, and then you'll have like 3 single game week players. So in total, you've got like 27 opportunities to score. And then you wouldn't, of course, triple captain in 25. You'd bench boost to get those 27 opportunities to score. Triple captaincy would then take place in 28 with Dom Solanke. And then you would free hit in 29 or at a later point in the season. So that is option A, and that will be the illustration that I'll be demonstrating in a moment. And you've got option B, whereby slightly safer, you're not going to wildcard straight away. You'll go with the flow in 24, free hit in 25, which will give you 22 scoring opportunities as opposed to 27 with the double. And then you will triple captain Dom Solanke in 28, as you would in the first option. The benefit here is that you've still got your wildcard intact and your ability to bench boost as well. So you could potentially wildcard in 29, but would you want to with a truncated game week? Probably not. But you've got the bench boost as well for the later doubles. So there's more flexibility with option 2. And then coming on to the final option, which is similar, whereby in my case, I'd waste a free transfer so that I could wildcard in 24. But in this instance, I would triple captain Haaland in 25. And that would mean that, again, I've got 22 opportunities to score plus the triple captaincy, make that 23 in total. And then you've got the option to free hit and bench boost later on. Of course, truncated game week in 29, and then a bench boost in a double, probably not the 37, but the one before that. So I'd say C is relatively conservative because you're going for Haaland on the triple captaincy, and then you've got the 2 chips later on. And then B is slightly riskier than that because you're going to triple captain Dom Solanke. But at the same time, at least you've got the wild card and bench boost later on. But the riskiest option surely has to be option A, which will be navigating in my hypothetical wildcard draft, because here you're literally going all in 24, 25, 28, 29, and then you're literally running on fumes for the remaining doubles and blanks. And for some, they'll say, well, of course you're chasing. You've got nothing to lose. You go for that. I'd also like to add the caveat: when I finished in the top 5K back-to-back just over a season ago, I was in a situation where actually I used my chips relatively quickly as well, whereby the perceived wisdom would have been to use them later on. So I feel that if you've got an opportunity to use your chips as early as possible to seize the initiative, regardless of what your rank tier is, I think that's also a viable approach as well. At the same time, you've got to just factor in so many other things, so many other variables, such as the amount of rotation that does take place later on, or the rotation that can take place around Champions League matches as well. So just keep that in mind. So onto my draft now for this hypothetical wildcard. And I keep on saying hypothetical purely because I've not committed to it yet, but I think it's something that I would strongly consider if I can justify it. So I've actually unselected all of my players here. I will be reselecting some of them, but it's just want to give it a clean slate and then show you which players would basically work in that option A, whereby I'd wildcard in 24, bench boost in 25, plus got the 3 playing subs in 25, and then triple captain in 28, and then I can free hit later on, possibly in 29. So with that team, the goalkeepers, first of all, I would go for the cheapest possible keepers in this instance. And the fixtures aren't great for them, but then I'd literally be relying on save points. So in this instance, of course, Kaminsky has to be like the pick as one of the goalkeepers, purely because Luton have 2 doubles in the space of weeks. You'd expect Kaminsky to start both of those doubles, so he is an absolute shoo-in. Second goalkeeper would be Flecken, so that I can maximize on the number of double game week players in double game week 25. Of course, the fixtures aren't great for him after the Wolves in 24. We'd hope that with the sheer number of saves that he can compile, that will hopefully boost his points tally. So in comes Flecken. And let's just complete the other Luton Town players for double game week 25. So the one that's really caught my eye is Alfie Doughty, who has been absolutely sensational, almost like a modern day Matt Doherty, or almost like a Lundstrom type player. Chipped in with 7 assists for Luton Town, who've shipped in goals. He makes absolute sense to me. The other Luton Town player has to be Ross Barkley, 4.9 million in absolutely sensational form. So there we go. That's my triple Luton Town. I'm going to get in Ivan Toney. Of course, he was suspended for a very long time, came back with a goal, and hopefully he can carry on that momentum for Brentford. Let me just reselect De Bruyne. I'll reselect Foden. And of course, I said I want to get Haaland in as well. Again, this is the maximized double game week 25 wildcard draft. I'll go into Liverpool now. As much as I'd want Trent, and Trent's had a really great season, you can see how heavily stacked the team is. I can't afford him. So in comes Virgil van Dijk. And I'm also, again, questions around Salah's fitness. I'll bring in Jota, and I'll bring in Diaz as well. So that is my triple Liverpool. Sorry, just restored Dom Solanke. The final update to my hypothetical wildcard draft would see me getting Senesi in as my final defender. So if I just do my super zoom in now, so for double game week 25, I've got Kaminsky and Flecken in goal. I've got Senesi, Virgil van Dijk, Pinnock, Branthwaite, Doughty, Barkley, Jota, De Bruyne, Foden, Diaz, and then I've got Toney, Solanke, and Haaland up top. So as you can see, I've got triple City, triple Liverpool, triple Luton, and triple Brentford for 25. That's 12 double game week 25 players. But it means that for blank game week 26, I've got Flecken in goal, got Senesi, Pinnock, and Branthwaite as my starting defenders. I've got Foden, De Bruyne in midfield, and I've got Toney, Solanke, and Haaland. So I've got 10 starting blank players. So I'd most likely sell Luis Diaz in that instance to get 11. But then for blank game week 28, I would have Doughty, Kaminsky, and Barkley. And I've already got Senesi and Solanke. So I'd just, if I wanted to, just get another player in for Bournemouth across the pitch, possibly midfielder. And then I've got the free hit, which I could potentially leverage in 29 as well. Is this the most optimal way for me to navigate the doubles and blanks? No idea. But at least there's a framework in which I can work 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and possibly 29. And then literally the final 10 game weeks, if I've got no chips left by then, it'll be literally running on fumes and hits and hoping for the best. So yeah, I know it's a bit controversial, and I know that this won't appeal to everyone, but if you're looking to seize the moment, if you're looking to get a jump start to your season, then having 4 triple ups in 25 with the option of bench boosting could be an option. In fact, you might not even want to bench boost Senesi, Solanke, and Branthwaite. You might just want to like triple captain Haaland. That is still possible with this approach. So I did say that like it's 3 options. Technically, it's 4 options, and then you've got the peace of mind of bench boosting for one of the later doubles and hoping for the best. So there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of those different options, and please let me know if I've completely missed out on an option that would be suitable for my team. As always, if you're able to like, share, and subscribe, that will be greatly appreciated. Take care and all the best. Thank you. Bye.